In many of these creatures, there is no pineal gland. They call it the vestigial gland, atrophied, no longer in usage. And without that gland, you can't secrete melanin, and without melanin, you cannot adapt to the planet that you're on and utilize the energies as they change without getting sick and going crazy. Sunstroke, which is a high vibration, they call kafar. The person then has a sunstroke because they cannot take in the sunlight. But the pineal gland can take in any kind of light you give it. And if it's too much, it re-radiates it at night when you sleep, just as the crystal in the Great Pyramid used to do for those who could not sleep. Let me explain what I'm saying. In that king's chamber, which is not a king's chamber, at the sepulchre, which is not a sepulchre, the initiates or the people there could lie down inside this structure, receive energies from Sirius, energies from Orion, and it was amplified, and this is why they had to use granite, because granite creates piezoic electricity, what they call static electricity. It has a lot of little glass and crystals in there that amplifies. It's a resonating chamber. And once they went there and they went to sleep, the resonances would split the body and different parts of the body could come out. Now, many of you talk about chakras. I know you know more about chakras than I do, so I won't touch your art and usage. But I'll simply say, if there is such a thing, and there's mind, body, spirit, and soul, that when you go to sleep, as they used to teach, where do you go? Do you have a transfer? Do you have a punch or a guard? If you don't come back from sleep, everybody's mourning, saying obsequies, they're having burial plots, and everybody's in trouble. So you die each night, and you look forward to it because you can finally rest. What does that mean? That you must be more than the body, and you must have to get out at night in order to make the body function again. And the time spent in and out depends on how much energy you've stored up in that body. Same thing with the pyramid. It was a proof to those who did not know that they could watch their own separation. The energy around that chamber would keep their little souls or bodies intact, and they would see themselves floating in this great chamber and experience what they call the afterlife. If the energy from Sirius was coming at that time, they experienced one type of energy. If it was coming in from Orion, they experienced another kind of energy. And the one that they best suited for let them know the work that they needed to do, because it let them know where they had previously been incarnated. I know many of you start going to sleep on this one because it gets kind of heavy. But I simply say the pyramids were used as a monument to the structure of the new human and an honoring of the old man, which would become God. Humans could only ascend to mankind if an incarnation on a test planet like this, and if they failed, they'd have to repeat it. Man could learn that he shouldn't have been there in the first place, and he had to repent from something he did, learn to undo it, and get off the place real quick. Where he went afterwards, the journey in the afterlife, depends on what he learned and how intelligent he was when exposed to everything he had created in his mind as well as with his hands. That's what the Sphinx was there looking at you to tell you. It composed of everything that could move, fly, and crawl. Say they call it the great beast. Head of a man, lion's mane, tail of a pig, claws and hooves, scales and feathers, which means everything that moves, flies, crawls on earth was composed, but the head of which looked like man. And man looked negroid. Human looked like a cross man, mankind. And they even do statues showing you where humans had developed and where man had developed. The statues in Easter Island show human. The monoliths down there amongst the Olmec, Chichen Uxmal, Chichewan, they look negroid, showing you two distinct opposites. Each could achieve, and each had dominated the land for a while. They can't tell you what the Sphinx is about and the pyramid is about, because they'd have to tell you what you are about and what races are about, and they'd have to tell you what time it is. The time is now for magnetic energy to come through the pyramids, and those that can't take it will not be able to stay on the earth no matter how many armies they have or how much electricity they burn. So there's a battle. And the great deception now lets you look when they declare another war with Iraq, when they take away the great volcanic eruptions that are happening now in these same straits, showing you that the energy is back and it's got to be done something with, and while they can't figure it out, they want to divert you. They have to come together in conglomerates because they know that they won't have a planet soon. The money won't be good soon, so let's do something with their system so we can build enough to get off the planet if the planet rejects us, or we can get into the inner of the planet where we won't have to go through all of this in the first place. A little bit further than I wanted to go, but I wanted to let you know that I do understand the theories and concepts